Hey guys, it's Matt. The day after the big smokeout day, probably would have been when I made that video, June 7th or 8th. I called it like Not Nilk weather reporting. It was the day after the smoke and a pancake where they pushed that smoke. If you don't laugh at it, you'll cry. Well, it's time. It's really time. You can see them really pushing forward this act of the play. So when the role players, I'm trying to get away from creep. Creep is played out anyway, despite what I said a few videos back. If you have any suggested names for the minions that work for the Not Nilk, the Asshole Dark here, I'm never gonna change the name for that. The Asshole Dark, Not Nilk, that's here to stay. If you have any new names for the minions, the executors, the implementers, the ones that play out the schemes and Skeletor's plots and plans, let me know and we'll consider it. But they didn't do 20 years of, we'll say it's, what were the names? Primate change. Bot is about monkeys. Primate change and global charming. Charming monkeys. They didn't do 20 years of primate change and global charming for nothing. It's like that scene in Braveheart. We didn't get dressed up for nothing. They didn't get dressed up for nothing. Put that damn blue and white on. They haven't been pushing this stuff with Al of the gore, Al of his gory gore. They haven't been doing this for nothing, man. They didn't do potentially a million headlines, if you consider all sources of bot-driven media all over the internet, a million headlines that use the term primate change over the last 20 years. And now they're turning the dial to 10. Last night, Vanessa Williams' concert at Independence Mall canceled Monday, last night, because of a storm forecast. Despite a blue sky still overhead. The decision upset concert goers, many of whom had already gathered for the show. Let me tell you how I found out about this. Turned on the television to get the weather. It was on NBC. An NBC reporter is at this concert event. I don't know what's going on at this point. He's interviewed. They're already ready for the show. They're sitting in their seats. Again, there's no rain. There's no nothing. No nothing, honey. He's going, are you upset? Are you upset that the concert's canceled? And, oh, we're very upset. We really wanted to see Vanessa. And I'm like, Vanessa who? Okay, to find out, it's Vanessa Williams and I don't know if it was one or two gospel groups. Vanessa Williams and an unknown to me gospel group. So he's just going around the crowd. And they said, well, Vanessa Williams did come out and apologize, showed everybody she was here. And then she said, this is crazy, like she wanted to perform. And then she said, they're giving me the stink eye. So that's all she said. She comes out for not even 30 seconds. There's a video of it. I just read about what she said. And I heard as the interviewer was going around, people were saying what she said. Well, Vanessa came out and apologized, said something, happy 4th, this is crazy. And like, they don't even want me out here apologizing to you. They're giving me the stink eye. And then she walked off the stage. Then the NBC reporters just going around to the crowd. Again, they're all set up. They had just gotten there. They've got their fold-out chairs or everything. He's going around. Wasn't it nice of Vanessa to come out and acknowledge the crowd? And you could really see she wanted to perform. And, oh, yes, it was so nice for Vanessa to come out. It was nice to at least get a glimpse of her. It's like, come on, man. Look, the comment on the stink eye or the eye, yeah, I hear you. I don't know if I want to. I mean, we all see that stuff. I mean, who knows? Whether she just said it. It is possible, or some code. Or we don't do that anymore. We know they play creepy games. Forget about it. The stink eye. Maybe we'll talk about it later. The point of this is, what is society going to look like over the next 5 to 10 years? It is the time where they turn the dial up, where we warned you. Frommer's tried to warn you. This primate change, it's now influencing all facets of society. Populations will be moved to stay home or to do this or to be indoors, or populations now will be moved, need to be moved because of weather. And of course, they'll say this isn't the normal weather. This weather is generated by man. It's generated by primates. Primate change. But now it's the implementation of it. And it didn't just start with the schmuck and a pancake. A what? Would you like a schmuck and a pancake? A what? A pipe and a crepe, a bong and a blitz. What was the other one? A cigar and a waffle. No, then just no pleasing you. Would you like smoke blown down from Canadian wildfires? No? Then there is no pleasing you people in New York and Philadelphia. Well, Matt, the concert was canceled because of weather. What happened? Nothing. Well, look, I can only speak for my house. 30-minute drive from Philadelphia. Here, nothing. Not a drop, not a gust of wind, nothing. Now, okay, there were pop-up storms all over the map. Little red here, little red there, little red moving across Lancaster County. Okay, all random. So what? Canceled the concert. All part of the agenda. No doubt about it. All part of the agenda. We're now populations. It's now influencing your life. This thing called primate change. It's now influencing, and they have 1,000 ways it's going to hit people. Based on what's happening, you can kind of sense the meeting they probably had 5 years ago, or the whisperings around the Eyes Wide Shut party said, we need to have a meeting about this. We can't just keep talking about the problem. We need to implement. Yeah, in the meetings, as little George steps up, the Baphomet's floating overhead. This time, little George, per Bill's poster, as a primate, says, let him speak. We can't just keep talking about the potential problems of the weather being caused by the ills of man and carbon. We need to implement. We need to show people that their lives are now being affected. We need to link all that Al Gore ran around and talked. We can't just keep having Al out there doing speech after speech, getting another Nobel Prize. He's become a zombified piece of wood at this point. People tune him. Last time he went to give a speech, 2 people showed up, and one with his mother. So we can't just keep relying on the talk anymore. It's time to implement. It's time to show people that what you people caused via the weather, you people created the primate change, and now it's affecting your lives, whether it be the smoke and a pancake being blown down from, see, in the old days, it was just a little Canadian wildfire. It just stayed to itself. But because you people created all the carbon, now it's blowing down, and it's a smoke and a pancake through New York, through Philadelphia. And I do remind any creeps that are listening to the sound of the words coming out of my mouth, you have to breathe this air too. Last time, I mean, you are, who knows what you are, but I think you're in the same body, whatever you are, entity-wise, you still incarnate the same body. It's still oxygen goes into the lungs. You creeps have to breathe the same air we do. Did you just get out of New York City for that day or whatever? It's weird. It's like, what is that phrase? Don't shit where you eat or don't shit where you work. Mr. YouTube channel presenter, I just stumbled upon this video and I don't really know what to make of this. It sounds like you're insinuating in some way that these weather events, whether you could argue it is what you call primate change or not, I guess that could be argued, but you're insinuating that these weather events are in some way cooked up and planned, and then you're insinuating that concerts are canceled not because of the safety and actually caring about people, but to create some sort of backstory that supports some sort of primate change narrative. Are you? This is insane. Is that what you're insinuating? No, you jackass that stumbled upon this video. Insinuate implies hinting at something. You're not suggesting. I'm not hinting or suggesting anything. I'm telling you what these creeps are doing right now. It's obvious. And okay, we sensed it just the beginning of June with the smoke and a pancake event. And what has happened just since then? It's become 10 times more obvious. Just since then. Just from a Vanessa Williams concert cancellation? No, not just from a Vanessa Williams concert cancellation. All last week was it people stuck in airports, 48 hours sleeping in their own filth, using newspapers as blankets in the airport, and the toilets are overflowing. All these flights canceled for what? I'm sure you've never, just pop-up storms, high humidity, downpours throughout the Northeast, all sorts of people, tens of thousands trapped in Newark Airport and LaGuardia, down through Philly, can't get out, thousands of flight cancellations from Florida up and down through Maine just because of pop-up storms. Matt, there wasn't no hurricane in the area, there wasn't no typhoon, no cyclone, no tropical storm, nothing. Pop-up thunderstorms, and they show the misery in the airport. This is all part of it now. It's now time to implement. It's now time to cancel a Vanessa Williams concert when the sky above is blue. If I remember correctly, the first Phillies game at home, I think the first Phillies home game canceled because of potential downpours, thunderstorms? Really? Never happened before? See, it's so obvious to us. I mean, even when they canceled the first Phillies game because of potential line of storms coming through, well, okay, we'll stop the game for 40 minutes. People go under, the awnings and they have a beer and a smoke and a pancake and they come back to the game. No, the game is now canceled. See, it turned the dial up. What's incredible is the people that canceled the game, or even the people that canceled the Vanessa Williams concert. This is how this reality works. They didn't get secret orders from Skeletor. They think there's a call coming in from the red phone. Oh, the red phone. Oh, that's even above the Rockefellers. We have to take that. And there's this creepy voice. You must cancel the Vanessa Williams concert. Oh, yes, sir. Yes, sir. I'm a good little minion. No, it's a download of some kind. They go along with the next phase of Not Milk, and they probably think they're doing it for people's safety. What's so fascinating about this reality is we are so far removed from it, we can see every bit of what's going on. That would be insane to anybody we try to talk to about this or listening to this video, or my friend Tony. But the people doing it are doing exactly what we see as the next phase of Not Milk. In this case, it's Al, the major league boar primate. It's like Ellie Mae Clampett. He has little critters like that. Al Gore is, what do they call? They call him critters. There's a little monkey in the Beverly Hillbillies. Al has one of those too, as a pet primate. We see it plain as day. That would be insane to your best friend or my friend Tony. And even to the people that end up canceling the concert. Look, there's exceptions to this, Matt. It's not. There's more people in on it. Okay, than you think, Matt. Okay, I hear you. But I assure you, there's 98% less in on it than we thought 5 or 10 years ago. It's the download of some kind. People that canceled the Phillies game, the first game, this never happens. You don't cancel baseball games because of thunderstorms coming through an hour and a half later. Never happens. This is the phase of what's going on now. The people do it. I don't know. They get on the frequency. They get on the radio station. They get on the download. The first grade truther believes everybody, the secret societies are starting to make their phone calls. Some of that happens. It's not all or none, but it's more of a download. It's proven the download because of how your friends and family just go along with it. They're on the download as well. It's like Invasion of the Body Snatchers. If I were to talk to this guy over here and my neighbor, I'm looking out the window, or if I were to talk to my stepfather, whoever, about the Phillies game, it wouldn't be the approach that we would take. Our approach would be, even if somebody's been like out of the quote research truth community for a year or two, they'd say, they still be one of us and say, yeah, that is awfully strange. I'm not going to go where you're taking it yet, Matt, but I've never heard of a baseball game canceled because of thunderstorms that might come later. I mean, that's really strange. See, when you talk to the people that are on the frequency of the download, they're the palace guard. They make excuses for it. They would say, well, Matt, I remember seeing the news, and it was a nasty red line of thunderstorms that they predicted to come through. They wouldn't say that this is unprecedented, or, Matt, I never remember a baseball game canceled. They'd always defend reality. They're the palace guard. They would do it with the Vanessa Williams concert last night. The people in the audience. The first person, the guy NBC going around interviewing people, and he was live. I was wondering, they were completely live when he was doing it. I'm sure they do a 7-second delay, but other than that, they were live. And they said, are you upset? And the first woman, I remember, said, well, yes, I certainly wanted to see Vanessa, but safety comes first. Everybody is just brainwashed to mimic what the Not Milk has put in their head. It is an evil genius that never should be underestimated. It is absolutely fascinating. She says, well, yes, I'd like to see, but safety always comes first. Oh, you stay safe. Now we got another way to stay safe, not just with the floating balls around the air. Now we got to stay safe in terms of these storms and all the carbon that you people created. The carbon, you all are responsible for that carbon, Al Gore's nemesis. And you people now, see what you did? Now your populations are going to pay the price. Your life will be impacted. They are evil genius. Talk about this Hegelian dialectic with crushed ice. It's reaction time. This phase stage 2 reaction. Al Gore, Frommer's tried to tell you about it. Al Gore tried to tell you about the potential problem, and he did, and he got his Nobel Peace Prize, and then they put him back in his coffin and sealed it shut like Salem's Lot. Now it's reaction. Vanessa Williams concert canceled. Oh, you 40,000 people have to sleep at the airport tonight. Reaction. Oh, we can't just keep reacting to it. We need, Matt, you got answer? We need solution. And that ain't even the Hegelian dectic with crushed ices. It's thesis, antithesis. Somebody's going to correct me in the comments. Matt, that's antithesis. Somebody tried to tell me how to pronounce something in the comment. It's like, oh, thank you for really moving our understanding of reality forward. I'll spew out 10,000 words in a presentation, and somebody will latch on to the one I mispronounced and correct me in the comment. Are you kidding me? Oh my goodness. There's that, what is it, BetterHelp or something. They have, they advertise online. I would suggest that. For me, no, for you. And they would try to correct one word. It's thesis, antithesis. No, the same guy that corrected me before. Matt, that's antithesis. Oh, I'm sorry. I should just never make another video. And then thesis, antithesis, synthesis, whatever. And that ain't problem, reaction, solution. That's actually different. The truth community we came up with that on our own, Matt. No, that wasn't introduced artificially into our community. That's Hegelian dialectic, not at all. Anyway, it applies. Forget the thesis, antithesis. The problem, reaction, solution, it does apply. They do business that way. And the solution will be coming. We are in problem. Al Gore tried to warn you. Reaction, here we go. Flights can't get out. Phillies game canceled. Smoking a pancake event. It's come. Solution is needed, they will tell us. And people will say, yeah, the people will agree. Yeah, we're all irresponsible for the carbon imprint or footprint or hoof print or whatever that everybody will say we left a carbon hoof print and we all have to suck it up and agree to the solution. And guess what? Those solutions were laid down 20 some years ago, even before the problem was presented. Do I know for sure this is how they do business, and can they vary a bit in the solution depending on the information that the Whopper supercomputer, now the AI Chad, collects? Yeah, but it just really seems like the way they do business is all laid down even before the first inning. I don't, have I overheard that at the Eyes Wide Shut parties that I attend weekly? No, but it just seems that's how they do business. Whatever solution, here's what would be a solution, Matt? What do you think they're going to do? I have no idea. But a rudimentary just popped into my head. Back in the 70s, the cooked up gas crisis under the Carter administration, the embargo, like the United States as being like all powerful would let little tiny Middle Eastern countries just rule their economy, and OPEC. If anything were real, that would have been if anything were real, first of all, I was going to say that would have been broken up in 2 weeks. It would have never even been allowed to be formed. And then going back beyond that, if anything were real, per the Sykes-Picot Treaty, they wouldn't have divided up the Middle East after World War I the way they did, unless they were confident, of course, that these would become complete puppet states, not of the United States, of the power that's in control of this world through the surrogate or whatever you want to, the stand-in of the United States. So in 1977, you could only get gas if you had an even number license plate for whatever day, for Tuesday, or odd for Wednesday. I forget what it was, but if you're let's go to school just let out. Let's go to Six Flags in New Jersey, the rides. It's you didn't let the gas go down. It's on E and we can't get gas. We're an even number license plate. And it's well, you could still get, no. It wasn't like they had anybody checking, because there were people pumping gas at that time. At least in Pennsylvania, a guy would come around and pump your gas. Well, he checked for odd or even. No, I bet the people in the line, it was just self-policed. He didn't check license plates. It was such a frenzy, waiting in line in some cases for 10 or 15 minutes, depending on the area. It wasn't always like that. I don't remember huge lines. Initially, there was probably a bit of a panic. But when that situation occurs, it's self-policing. If you're odd and you're trying to get in line and it's an even day, the even license plate people probably get out of your car and if not rip you out of the car, take a baseball bat to the top of your hood, put dents and shit. It was self-policing. I don't think the guy that was pumping the gas was looking at the license plates because the people were so freaked out. If somebody tried to sneak into line, little Granny would have got out of her car and seen to that herself. So they bringing that to us? Odd and even license plates to drive, to get gas? No, to drive, to be on the roads. They're going to say, we're this close. The planet is hanging on by this much. If you can only drive on a Monday, if you have an odd number license plate. And since Santa Claus, Schwab and everybody, they did such a great job implementing the work from home, which is one of the major objectives of 2020, you don't have to really drive. And we need to save the planet. And you care about carbon hoofprint, don't you? You can only drive on odd days. For how long? Forever. What? It's got to be a temporary measure, right? Just driving on a Monday and a Wednesday and a Friday. This is a temporary measure. No, it's not. You people in your carbon hoofprints created this problem. Now you're going to have to live with it. You people should be lucky we still allow you to drive. You going to complain you can only drive Monday, Wednesday, Friday, Sunday? We allow you still to drive. You know, you were this close to just taking it all away. What'd you learn in driver's ed, 10th grade? First thing they teach your broke ass is driving is a privilege, and we grant it. It's a privilege. You're lucky you can still drive. If you say one more word, we'll take the deed to your car, we'll take the deed to your house, we'll take your wife and kids, and we'll set you up in a little condo, just 400 square feet in the line. The Saudi Arabian line. That's where you'll be living. Say one more word. We'll take everything from you, even your daughters. You'll be living right next to Omar Sharif in the Saudi Arabian line in 400 square feet. And that ain't no picnic when the air conditioning breaks and the toilets overflow. When the power generation plant at the line in Jeddah and Riyadh that serves the line goes down, it becomes like living in the garbage masher, the trash compactor of Star Wars. That's what the line starts to look like. And you have choice. You can live like that until they fix the overflowing toilets and they get the electricity back online, or you can take your chances out in the desert at 135 degrees with the scorpions and the rattlesnakes. So guys, for the rest of the summer, watch how the reaction stage continues. Watch for more things like Phillies games that would have never been canceled even last year because of some thunderstorms, or concerts that are canceled when it's blue skies and there's just a threat of thunderstorms or a threat of hail. We've got to shut the whole concert down. And flights that would have gone out last year, no problem, or 3 years ago, now all canceled. And these are minor little inconveniences where they just stick you. They just stick you and irritate and irritate and irritate. I'm not talking about major league reaction phase where they're, creating. This is actually still creating problem, of course. One blends into the other. I'm no expert on the Hegelian dialectic where one stops and the other starts and it's crushed ice, but you can see what's happening here. We're just looking and going to notice the little minor things. Forget the major things like the smoke and a pancake event, or you could also, some might want to say a cigar and a crepe. Cigar and a crepe was a cigar and a waffle. You could call it a cigar and a waffle event or a pipe and a crepe event. Either anything from that Austin Powers Gold member regarding the smoke being pushed down, that all applies. You can use whatever hobo code term that you want there. So watch how this continues. And then unfortunately, to our chagrin, I don't even know what that means. I just kind of made it up. I think I've heard that before. To our chagrin, some asshole's going to try to correct me and tell me all about it in a comment. Watch how your family and friends defend it. Matt, don't you think it's certainly better to err on the side of safety? Where did you get that script? Can you show me the download frequency that you're on? Where did you pull that from? Is it like My Favorite Martian? Do you have little antennas that I can't see? Or you people have tails now like Avatar. You just connect to the internet the way the tail of the Avatar wrapped around the tail of that beast that it rode or whatever. It connected to Uma, the mother tree. There's an invisible tail that the people around us, our friends and family, connects to the internet where they get their download or something or frequency. So guys, 10 years ago, I'm obviously already a hardcore reality junkie researcher, still, looking at 10 years ago, the 7-Eleven job application submission every day, and understanding the dark that's here, and it's scary at the same time as fascinating. Okay, but somebody could have come to me and said, oh, it's going to become way, way worse. It's going to get real fucked up compared to what it... Oh, yeah, this is going to look normal. Have you ever seen Invasion of the Body Snatchers? Like, oh, yeah, which one? The one from the late 50s or 60s? It doesn't really matter. Well, actually, it does matter. The Donald Sutherland one, see, 2023 won't really look like that. They don't just scream and point. It actually, the population of 2023 is more like the Invasion of the Body Snatchers presented in the black and white movie of the late 50s or the early 60s. But literally, you will see that the people around you in some way have been snatched. They'll just, everything that's strange that you think and see as strange, when you go to talk to them about it, they'll defend it. They'll err on the side of the insane asylum authority figures telling you why things need to work a certain way. They'll become the palace guard. All of authority will be bowed down to. Anybody that question it is some sort of loon, some sort of conspiracy person. It's Invasion of the Body Snatchers, with the only poor bastards left that aren't snatched are conspiracy people running around San Francisco trying to avoid Donald Sutherland. At some point, he's going to point at us. You better be ready for it. Thanks for listening.